Hello, good day everyone. For today's lesson is all about operations on functions, and these are the following operations. First is the sum, addition of functions. We have here the formula f plus g of x equals f of x plus g of x. For the difference of function, we have f minus g of x equals f of x minus g of x. For the product, we have f times g of x equals f of x times g of x. And for the last one, quotient of the function, we have f divided by g of x equals f of x divided by the function g of x. First example, we have here the given, and we are asked to solve for the sum of v of x and g of x. Identify the value of v of x, that's x squared plus 3x minus 4. And for the g of x, that's x squared plus 2x minus 8. Next process would be combine these two functions. Combination means it's either addition or subtraction depending on the sign of the terms. Now, combine the first term, x squared and x squared. Add the coefficient. 1 plus 1 is 2. Copy their common variable, which is x squared. So the result is 2x squared. Second term, we have 3x and 2x. Add the coefficient. 3 plus 2, that's 5. And then copy their common variable. That's why it's 5x. And for the last term, negative 4 and negative 8. Same sign, we need to add. 4 plus 8 is 12, and then copy their common sign, which is negative. Therefore, the sum of v of x and g of x is 2x squared plus 5x minus 12. Example number 2, we have here the sum of f of x and h of x. The value for f of x is x plus 3, and for the value of h of x is x squared minus 16. Okay, class, this is how we input our functions for us not to be confused what to combine and not to combine. Since we don't have x squared in the first function and x variable having a degree of 1 in the second function, now if a term does not exist in a function, just leave it blank or just leave a space. Now let's solve for the sum of the two functions. This would be x squared plus x, positive 3 and negative 16. Unlike sign, therefore subtract 16 minus 3, that's 13. Then copy the sign of the bigger number. That's why it's negative 13. Example number 3, we have p minus f of x equals p of x minus f of x. Identify the value of p of x. We have 2x minus 7. And for the f of x, we have x plus 3. Now, class, take note. If our operation is minus or we are asked to solve for the difference, we need to multiply this operation to our second function or i-distribute na to. That's why this becomes negative x minus 3. After that, we can now combine the two functions. 2x and negative x, unlike sign, therefore subtract. 2 minus 1 is 1. Therefore, this is x positive because the sign of the bigger number is positive. The last term, negative 7 and negative 3, same sign. Therefore, add 7 plus 3 is 10, and then copy their common sign. Therefore, the difference of p of x and f of x is x minus 10. Example number 4, still solve for the difference of t of x and g of x. T of x, we have 4x cubed minus 2x squared plus 4. And for the value of g of x, we have x squared plus 2x minus 8. And don't forget, basta subtraction, we need to multiply this operation to our function. This becomes negative x squared minus 2x plus 8. Now, we need to take note to input our functions in this format. We need to put a space if a term does not exist. Now, we can combine the two functions. Bring down 4x cubed, negative 2x squared, and negative x squared. add kay same sign. 2 plus 1 is 3. Copy their common sign. That's why it's negative 3x squared. Bring down negative 2x and then add 4 and 8, and that is 21. Therefore, the difference of p of x and g of x is 4x cubed minus 3x squared minus 2x plus 21. Example number 5, we are asked to solve for the product of f of x and p of x. Substitute the value of f of x. We have x plus 3 times the value of p of x, which is 2x minus 7. Next process would be the FOIL method. First, outer, inner, and last. So, x times 2x, we have 2x squared. Basta mag-multiply kay tawag variable, we need to add the exponent. Next, outer, x times negative 7, that's negative 7x. Inner, 3 times 2x, that's 6x. And last, 3 times negative 7, we have negative 21. Then simplify, bring down 2x squared. Combine negative 7x and positive 6x. Subtract kay unlike sign. 7 minus 6 is 1. And then copy the sign of the bigger number. That's why it's negative x minus 21. And this is our final answer. Example number 6, still solve for the product of h of x and g of x. Substitute the function of h of x. We have x squared minus 16 times the value of g of x. We have x squared plus 2x minus 8. The next process would be distributive property. We can't use the FOIL method because it's for binomial only. We have here the second function. It's trinomial. Okay, distribute x squared to the second function, x squared times x squared. We have x raised to the power of 4. Again, multiplying variables, we need to add the exponent. X squared times 2x, that's 2x cubed. X squared times negative 8, that's negative 8 squared. Second term sa atong first function, multiply or distribute sa second function. Negative 16 times x squared, that's negative 16x squared. Negative 16 times 2x, that's negative 32x. Negative 16 times negative 8, that's positive 128 or 128. Simplify, bring down x raised to the power of 4 and 2x cubed. Kay wala man sila we can't combine no sa other nga term. And we have here, ang makombine ra nato is this one, negative 8x squared and negative 16x squared. Same sign man, add 8 plus 16, that's 24. Then copy their common sign and their common variable. So, negative 24x squared. And then bring down negative 32x and plus 128. And that is our final answer. We are down to our last operation. Example number 7. We are asked to solve for the quotient of f of x and p of x. Substitute the value of f of x, which is x plus 3, divided by the function of p of x. We have 2x minus 7. The next process for getting the quotient, we need to factor out the numerator and denominator. In this case, the numerator can't be factored out, as well as the denominator. Why? Because 7 is not divisible by 2. Therefore, this would be our final answer. Let's proceed to example number 8. We are asked to solve for the quotient of v of x and p of x. Substitute the function v of x. We have x squared plus 3x minus 4 divided by the function, the value of p of x, which is 2x plus 8. Again, in solving for the quotient, the next process would be identifying the factor of numerator and denominator. Now, to factor out our numerator or this trinomial, we are going to identify the factor of 4. So when we say factor, duha ka number, if i-multiply mo result og 4. So what are the possible factors of 4? We have 1 and 4 and 2 and 2. Mora ni ang possible factor niya. Again, to check if our factor is correct, dapat daw ang factor if i-multiply mo result sa third term, and if i-combine, that means either addition or subtraction mo result sa ato ang coefficient sa second term, which is 3. So let's try. If i-subtract si 1 and 4, mo result siya og negative 3. If i-add, mo result siya og 5. So naay possibility nga mao ni ang factor kay mo result man siya into 3. Sa second nato nga factor, we have 2 and 2. If i-subtract, 0. If i-add, 4. So wrong na dayon kay dili gyud siya mo result nga same og coefficient sa ato ang second term. Now let's proceed to 1 and 4. If i-multiply nato ang duha ka number, mo result siya og negative 4, and if i-add, positive 3. So asa nila ang naagi positive nila na ay negative, no? So if 4 is negative, ang result is negative 3. Unya ang atong coefficient kay dapat positive. Therefore, 1 is negative and the sign of 4 is positive. Para if i-multiply nato negative 1 and 4, this becomes negative 4, correct na sa atong third term. And negative 1 and positive 4, if i-combine, mo result siya og positive 3. Okay? Kay positive ang sign, kay dako man si 4. Now, to factor out the denominator, which is this binomial, dali ra no, kay two terms raman, we are just going to identify the common. So, when we say common, a number nga divisible sa ato ang two terms. So, if ang atong second term kay walay variable, mostly, ang coefficient sa first term, mao gid na atong common nilang duha. So, ipagawas ang common, so that's 2. Open parentheses, i-divide si 2 sa atong binomial. So, 2x divided by 2, that's x. 8 divided by 2, that's 4. Now, to check if sakto ato ang factor, i-simplify lang ni, dapat mo result siya ani. That's the basis nga sakto ato ang factor. After this one, let's see if naay makancel out. Yes, which is x plus 4. So, therefore, our final answer would be x minus 1 over 2. And we are down to our last example. Example number 9, we are asked to solve for the quotient of h of x and v of x. Substitute the value of h of x. We have x squared minus 16 divided by the value of v of x, which is x squared plus 3x minus 4. Now, our numerator, let's factor out this one. Our numerator is called square of binomial. Nga naman, perfect square, ang atong first term kay x squared, and then the second term kay perfect square. So, pwede siya ma-square root having a whole number nga result. So, therefore, ang atong factor class would be square root sa ato 16. So, that means 4. Now, ang atong second term kay negative 16 man, dapat ang sign niya kay isa positive, isa kay negative. So, this would be the factor. So, dali ra siya basta square of binomial, no? If i-multiply nato siya, the result is negative 16. And we are done. For the denominator, the same ni siya sa previous example. Mangita ta og factor ni last term, which is 4. Nya, atong factor ani kay if i-add, no, or if i-subtract, mo results siya into 3. So, the same ra gyud siya sa atong previous nga example. So, that means, ang atong factor ani kay 1 and 4. And the sign, the same ra sad, kay dapat man positive 3, no, if i-combine si 1 and 4. So, therefore, 1 is negative, and 4 is positive. Ma'am, pwede ra ba ni magka-interchange, kani mag-una, and then siya ang sunod? Yes. Pwede ra na class, it won't matter, basta operation nato is multiplication. Naabay possible ma-cancel out? Yes, this one, x plus 4. So, the result would be x minus 4 divided by x minus 1. And that ends our lesson about operations on function.